count on every day. Tonight's final look at San Diego news with Kimberly Hunt, Carol LeBeau, Captain Mike's weather, Bill Griffith on sports. This is 10 News Nightcast.
I'm Kimberly Hunt here at the ABC 10 News studios in the Webster neighborhood of southeastern San Diego, where I've had the privilege to bring you the news since the late 1980s. For the past 70 years, you've welcomed Channel 10 into your home, bringing you the stories that impact your lives on a daily basis. Tonight, we're celebrating the people who connected you to San Diegans across the county. Let's begin with a look back at how it all began. Before television, of course, there was radio, and our station started as radio station KFSD on March 27, 1926. Immodestly, KFSD stood for First in San Diego. In 1933, our 1,000-watt signal came from an antenna on top of the U.S. Grant Hotel downtown. In 1953, we made the leap into television at a facility on Enterprise Street off Pacific Highway, a location that's now the home of Walter Anderson Nursery. We put our transmitter on top of Mount Soledad, where it stands today. In 1957, we decided to upgrade. We built a $1 million state-of-the-art television and radio station off Highway 94 and 47th Street. That was a lot of money back then, but we certainly got our money's worth. We are still there 66 years later. It was called Broadcast City and was considered the most modern and complete radio and TV station in the country at the time.
Perched on 17 acres of land, there were only a few buildings and miles of brush.
The official groundbreaking for the station's new building was May 23, 1957. We were an NBC affiliate back then, and the following day, the ceremony aired on the Today Show. It took about a year for the station to be built. In February 1958, San Diego's new broadcast city was officially dedicated with a special one-hour program.
Today, KFSD dedicates this magnificent broadcast facility to you, the listener, and you, the viewer. There is no finer broadcast facility in the world.
The new facility housed KFSD's AM/FM radio stations and, of course, the TV station. Channel 10 sported a newsroom and 2 studios. One had a turntable in the floor that could accommodate a car for commercials. It's actually still under the floor of our studio today. We also had the capacity to hold a 200-person audience. During that era, Channel 10 produced everything from newscasts to talk and variety programs. One of those was hosted by a young man named Regis Philbin. You may have heard of him.
Hey, KGTV, my old home there in San Diego, California.
In 1961, he started a 4-year run on the Regis Philbin Show. That same year, we changed the call letters of the TV and AM radio station to Kogo. And in 1962, the stations were sold to Time Life. A decade later, we were purchased by McGraw-Hill. Yes, the same McGraw-Hill that published many of your textbooks as a kid. That same year, the radio stations were sold off and Kogo TV became KGTV. In 1977, we switched network affiliations from NBC to ABC. TV technology was also booming. This was the year we began the transition from film to videotape cameras. And in 1980, we debuted San Diego's first news helicopter, Sky 10. Our new Eyes in the Sky took off and landed right here in our parking lot. In 1982, we got our first satellite dish and receiver. 4 years later, we said goodbye to typewriters, installing San Diego TV's first electronic newsroom system. In 1993, we got even more high-tech with the debut of robotic studio cameras.
Hello there and welcome back.
Then in 1996, the launch of News Channel 15, providing San Diegans with local news around the clock. The mid-90s also saw the creation of KGTV.com, which later became 10news.com. As we moved into a new millennium, the equipment got smaller. No longer were 2 or 3 people required to shoot and tell a story. In the early 2000s, we debuted digital correspondents, reporters and photojournalists who would shoot, write, edit, and present their own stories. Now known as multimedia journalists, they've become the industry standard. Our reach has also extended into Spanish language broadcasting with the launch of Azteca America San Diego in 2006. 3 years later, the TV industry made a fundamental change. The days of rabbit ears officially ended as the government required all stations to switch to digital-only service. In 2012, KGTV became a member of the E.W. Scripps family, joining the company's rich history of quality journalism dating back more than a century. That commitment to quality journalism remains our foundation today as we look forward to the next 70 years. As you just saw, our TV station looked a lot different when it went on the air in 1953. And San Diego as a whole certainly looks a lot different than it did 70 years ago. We're taking you to some of those places over the next half hour. But here's what our town looked like 7 decades ago. There were a lot fewer people then. 1953 was the year the Bahia Hotel opened, the first hotel along Mission Bay. It was also the first year the military put on an air show in San Diego. At that time, it was the Navy. And San Diego's Rocket Chemical Company invented the formula for a little product called WD-40. I'm here on Harbor Island overlooking the San Diego Bay. 70 years ago, there was no Coronado Bridge, no Petco Park, but 10 News has been a constant, and we've brought you more than just the news through the years. Our diverse programs across the decades have included local favorites such as Johnny Downs, which featured San Diego school children. We were also the home of San Diego's own Mistress of the Dark, Mona Lisa.
It's midnight, it's the moon, and it's me. Mona as in you-know-where, Mona Lisa, girl guide of the galaxies and heavenly hostess, at home and entertaining.
We also dove headfirst into the 70s disco craze with a weekly Saturday dance show called Disco 10. Another KGTV show, Scholastic Superstars, gave kids a chance to show off their brain power. In the late 80s, we launched Inside San Diego, a daily live 1-hour talk show hosted by Laura Buxton and Bill Griffith.
Good morning, everyone. At long last, I'm Laura Buxton.
And I'm Bill Griffith.
That show had some amazing guests, including future A-listers Jim Carrey and Jerry Seinfeld. In the 90s, we had the honor of hosting a town hall with then-President Bill Clinton, allowing San Diegans to speak directly to the Commander-in-Chief. We've also hosted telethons for numerous causes. For the past decade, we've been the home for Month of a Million Meals, raising money to help San Diegans in need put food on the table. One of the communities that's changed the most in the past 70 years is Chula Vista. Once nothing but rural farmland, it's grown into San Diego County's second largest city. Chula Vista is home to Rita Hayworth, Mario Lopez, the 2009 Little League World Series champs, and the Olympic Training Center. And Channel 10 has been home to some groundbreaking women. It's been my honor to sit on the 10 News anchor desk for several decades. But there were some trailblazers who came before me. Carol LeBeau and Bree Walker made history at Channel 10 some 39 years ago.
There was some trepidation about them doing that, and I know Carol felt it as well, because as the years passed while we were working together, we shared that reality, that it was kind of scary because it was an experiment that had not been tried before.
In 1984, Bree Walker joined Carol LeBeau at the 10 News anchor desk, making them the first female anchor team in the country. While it may seem common now, 2 women side by side on the anchor desk was a bold move by Channel 10 at the time.
I remember when, as women were coming into the workplace in force, there was this mantra that oh, it's going to be this great sisterhood and everybody's going to love everybody and it's going to be wonderful. Well, it's not always that way.
But station management was steadfast and supportive.
Ron Meyer's credit and all the bosses, they said, just stick with it. We're going to make sure this experiment works. And so they were encouraging about it. And that's a good memory.
Good evening, I'm Bree Walker.
Not surprisingly, the duo was a hit. Their bond even extended to accidentally showing up on the set wearing the same dress one day.
I forget which one of us actually went and changed clothes during the first commercial break during that live broadcast. But that happened, and it's one of those funny things, you know.
Off the anchor desk, Carol's beat was staying healthy, from diets, fitness, nutrition, and new technologies in medicine.
I think I had every part of my body imaged at one point.
Both Carol and Bree are now happily retired, but their legacy lives on. I had the honor of replacing Bree on the anchor desk next to Carol in 1987. When the news director asked me to audition for the job here, I was already mulling offers from Dallas and Sacramento. But after flying here and being offered the job, I felt at peace. This station, this city felt like home. My decision was made, and it's been my home ever since.
10 News Live at 5 continues with Carol LeBeau and Kimberly Hunt.
I made the move to San Diego and became part of the weeknight anchor team, a privilege I still hold today. From the start, friendships were forged and a journey of memorable moments began. The biggest life change came soon after my arrival. I met a linebacker for the then San Diego Chargers, Billy Ray Smith, who would go on to become my husband. 2 years after we were married, we would welcome our daughter Savannah to the world.
To finally have her here after 9 months. It's great. Can't wait for the rest of her life.
67th annual. Among the highlights professionally were the many trips covering the Oscars with my co-anchor Carol LeBeau.
And we're having a great time. By the way, what you're wearing is fantastic.
And you too. And the one-on-one interview with President Bill Clinton on the East Lawn of the White House.
There are so many congressional districts now in America that have been through the kind of tough economic times that San Diego has.
We talked border issues affecting San Diego, including NAFTA, Clinton's trademark New Deal at the time between the U.S., Canada, and Mexico.
Good morning, America. It is Sunday, March 26, 1995. I'm Antonio Mora.
And I'm Kimberly Hunt from KGTV in San Diego, filling in for Willow Bay. Thanks for joining us. While in prison,
I was called up by the network to fill in as the host of Good Morning America, an amazing experience, but it didn't feel like home. Billy Ray retired from the NFL and launched a sports broadcasting career, which even put us together on the set here at Channel 10 for a time.
And they lost the game by a single point, 11-10.
Other assignments that stay with me include interviewing Oprah Winfrey.
We are going to be pulling about 6 Gs.
Riding with the Blue Angels, covering the Super Bowl.
That hurts.
And the Republican National Convention. But my passion has always been the stories that affect San Diego because of our position on the U.S. border with Mexico. One of the first stories I did at Channel 10 was Maquiladora's economic boon or toxic time bomb. It exposed the toxic chemicals discarded from factories lining the border and showed how those chemicals were leaching into the groundwater in puddles in Tijuana. It was poisoning well water and leaving children who walked to school each day with skin rashes and worse.
And as you can see, this large drainage pipe for the factories, like many more which line this mesa, points in this direction.
This story led to the first environmental treaty between the U.S. and Mexico. I've reported the ugly truth about San Diego's sex trafficking problem, our place on the national sex trafficking circuit, the open-air brothels hiding in San Diego's upscale canyons, and the return of a trafficking victim across the border from Mexico and back into the arms of her waiting mother. I was given access to go along as prison guards with dog teams raided the maximum security cells at Donovan State Prison looking for cell phones. Another took me inside the weapons room of the ATF after they collected the firearms left on the streets of Tijuana after a particularly deadly battle for power between two rival cartels in Mexico.
Nothing to declare from Mexico?
The Border Patrol took me to the San Isidro port of entry to see their fight to stop drugs from coming into the U.S. The Navy gave me unprecedented access to Hell Week during Navy SEAL training.
Hey, you got some kind of problem?
And I've continued to tell the story of the world's smallest mammal, the vaquita, on the brink of extinction just a few hours south of San Diego in the upper Gulf of Mexico. Fewer than 14 vaquita remain on Earth, the tragic victim of rampant illegal fishing in the Sea of Cortez. Some of these stories are heartbreaking, yet it's the power of storytelling that may be our only hope for change. Because injustice and cruelty must be brought into the light, where collectively we can change the future. The North County features some of San Diego's favorite beach towns, including Encinitas. The city is actually comprised of a number of communities that incorporated in 1986, including Leucadia, Cardiff by the Sea, and Alevenheim. The beach was one of the loves of the late Lauren Nancaro. Lauren did Weather at 10 News for 10 years, sharing his love of nature and the outdoors. We spoke to Lauren's wife and daughter at the beach about how much he loved living here.
We, humbly called him San Diego's native son. He may not have been born or raised here, but he adopted the city the moment that he got here, and he was beloved for it, and how much he cherished it. I don't think anyone was more San Diegan than him as a transplant.
And sadly, many of the other people who shaped the legacy of Channel 10 are also no longer with us. There are far too many to name, but 3 in particular earned their place on KGTV's Mount Rushmore.
The evacuation of Americans and their families from South Vietnam is very nearly complete tonight.
Captain Mike the Bridge, beam me down, Scotty. Nightcast weather is next.
And I wonder whether a Navy curfew would really force Tijuana to clean up its crooked police force.
They were faces as familiar to San Diegans as family. Jack White, Captain Mike Ambrose, and Michael Tuck. Jack served as a reporter and anchor here at Channel 10 for nearly 35 years. He covered every conceivable type of story, but is remembered by many for his years of reviewing San Diego restaurants, featuring his signature line that the food was served piping hot, just the way I like it. Jack was also one of the nicest people you would ever meet. His wife of 36 years said he had a boundless love of life.
I mean, he was so interested in magic, and he'd met so many famous magicians and had stories to tell about when he worked in Hollywood magic. He was just a Renaissance guy, and there wasn't anything that he didn't seem to know a little bit about.
Then there's Mike Ambrose, known to San Diegans as Captain Mike. From 1973 to 2001, Captain Mike delivered both the weather and endless charm. His annual toy drive became a San Diego tradition, which he called the most meaningful event in his television career, and he certainly left a mark on his co-workers.
He was so humble. And we would sit and have conversations about life. And every time I go into his office, I would see his Aquanet hairspray. I mean, he makes good money, but he's still using Aquanet hairspray. And his Goody brush that was literally caked with Aquanet hairspray and his hair.
Perhaps no one did more to stir the spirit of San Diegans than Michael Tuck. During his time at Channel 10, Tuck helped the station climb to #1. And his perspective commentaries took on everyone from America's Cup winner Dennis Conner to public schools.
On second thought, maybe they're teaching another course in public schools. Call this one Shafting the Taxpayer. I'm Michael Tuck, and that's my perspective.
Michael Tuck, Captain Mike, and Jack White are all gone now, but certainly not forgotten. In the East County, one of the appealing sights is the Lemon Grove Lemon. The 3,000-pound statue was originally built as a July 4th parade float in 1928. 2 years later, it was covered in plaster and made permanent. And that spirit of fun has been a big part of San Diego TV news. Many of San Diego's best news anchors have come through Channel 10. But the most famous wasn't really a news anchor at all.
3, 2, 1, 0. Stay classy, San Diego. Stay classy, San Diego.
Yes, when Will Ferrell was preparing to make his now iconic movie Anchorman, he came to Channel 10 to research. ABC 10 News reporter Jeff Lasky shows how that was just the beginning of Ferrell's relationship with ABC 10.
Of all of Will Ferrell's many hysterical characters, San Diego news anchor Ron Burgundy probably tops the list. And the character's roots run right through KGTV.
They wanted to know what a newsroom looked like in the 1970s.
That's longtime 10 News anchor Jack White. He was hired to be a consultant on the film, and one of White's colleagues inspired a key part of the movie.
The first time I saw Will Ferrell in makeup, and I thought it was Harold Green. I looked up and I said, well, what's Harold doing here?
On a trip to visit the station, Ferrell saw photos of 10 News anchor Harold Green. He knew right then he'd found Ron Burgundy's signature look.
Hello there, here's what's going on.
But while Green inspired Burgundy's image, White says that's where the similarity ended.
The Ron Burgundy character is a composite of a lot of people, but it's not Harold Green. It's not anyone that hopefully we ever knew.
Fortunately for us, Will Ferrell continued his relationship with Channel 10.
How about a big round of applause for me?
Over the years, Ferrell would make the trip down to host a series of events raising money for local charities. Many of those events were on the golf course, and that paired him with another veteran of those Anchorman days, our own Hal Clement.
Which camera am I on?
You're right there.
This camera?
Right there.
Oh, right here.
One year, the real Anchorman and the fake one met up in Los Angeles for a series of promo videos.
I'm like a trained dog. Yeah. In fact, I would like a treat right now. I love Aztec Stadium.
There's actually no such place.
Okay. Then I don't love it.
Ferrell clearly loves San Diego, and you never know when he's going to pop up.
Hello, San Diego!
He's done events with the Padres at Petco Park and even put back on the Ron Burgundy costume for a voter registration drive at Oceanside High in 2018.
Oceanside, Oceanside, it's right by the side of the ocean. I recorded that song at the Chamber of Commerce. It reduced tourism by 80%.
Since Ferrell keeps returning to Ron Burgundy, it seems likely he'll keep returning to visit San Diego County. And everyone here at Channel 10 continues to be proud of the little part we played in launching San Diego's favorite fake anchorman.
Stay classy, San Diego.
Here at 10 News, we always strive for professionalism and perfection. But with news being live, that doesn't always happen. Fortunately, many of our mistakes through the years are a lot of fun to watch.
This is 10 News Live at 11.
Good morning. It's 11 o'clock. We're glad you're with us. I'm Steve Fiorina. This is
Wednesday, the 12th of September. And I'm Lisa Lake. And a documented immigrant is pushing for U.S. immigration reform at the San Ysidro border crossing.
I'm sorry?
We're going to get more now from Jackie Wynn.
Here live at the San Ysidro border crossing now to a very important story.
We can surmise you won't be filling out an application for Tuesday's Child after your ordeal today. No. You know, if you look hard enough, you can find a book on just about everything. So now there's the Rand best places in the country, according. Oh man, time out. Let's go from the top.
I'm Michael Tucker. That's my perspective. Couldn't. But the fact is that Indians have been shoved around these past 100 and others who literally make life and leth. I don't know why I'm having a hard time. I'm going to have to learn how to read all over again.
So that is the story from Livermore, Kansas. Livermore, California. We are in the middle of this mobile home park, and we do know where we are. It took a lot to get this live shot out of here, believe me, folks, but we did it.
The San Diego paramedic service might be revived this summer. And in sports, Hal has discovered that one of the area's toughest golf holes is just par for the course.
Well, topping our worldwide news tonight, those 2 Americans jailed in Iraq may be set free.
An Iraqi official says he thinks they may be free in a day or two.
Roll 3.
Iraq's foreign ministry said today the problem will be resolved very soon. The Americans David Delavetti of Jacksonville, Florida, and William Barlin of New Hampshire, Vernon Winfrey is still pending.
Take 2.
We should say that these are hydraulic chairs, and for some reason, mine just went out, okay?
Marty Emerald joins us in the newsroom right now to look at what troubleshooters are working on. Marty?
Stander.
Please.
Take Q. Cure.
Oh, excuse me. Here in the newsroom, it's a busy place. I can tell you, a lot's going on here. First, he became a
And you may think of it as doodling, but taking a pen or a paper to a pencil to a paper can actually be good exercises for your brain. I'll try it.
Mara Wilson, so you really do believe in Santa Claus, right?
No, I'm Jewish.
Police get an injunction against this hotel, and the manager is spraying water on us. We'll have this story for you in just a minute. Hey, you better quit that.
Well, on the subject of private parts, there's something in downtown that is grabbing a lot of people's attention. It is a billboard you're not going to miss or easily forget if you do see it. Phoebe Chung-Chua explains.
Getting it up was the easy part. They unrolled it little by little.
Be safe out there, everybody. Merry Christmas.
Thanks, Gary, you too. There are some holiday closures we want to remind you about for tomorrow. Excuse me.
Sorry about that. Need my mic to talk. Trash collection will be a day later than usual. There won't be any mail service, and tickets won't be issued for parking at expired meters in the city tomorrow. I'm sorry. I lost my mic again.
Decide if he goes to death row or spends the rest of his life in prison.
You can watch that case and more live online. Court TV is streaming on CourtTV.com.
It was riveting. I can understand why your reaction.
Laughing at something else.
See all of you again tomorrow night. She'd be great to live with, huh?
Good night.
And that is our look back at the first 70 years of 10 News. It's been our distinct pleasure to tell your stories in your communities, and we can't wait to do it for the next 70 years. Thank you for joining us. Good night.